What is up, YouTube? So, as you can tell, got a PSA order back from about a month ago. So they were pretty fast on this order, believe it or not. It was crazy. So, back in October, went to an estate sale and bought a bunch of cards. Cards that I bought from the estate sale. It was a government sale. A guy had passed away. He'd went into state health care, and pretty much once you do that, you sign all of your assets over if you can't pay. So he signed his house and stuff over to the state. Fast forward a year, he passes away, and the house goes up for auction. The state puts that house and the contents up for auction, and his next door neighbor wins the auction. So get a call, from a buddy that does estate sales. Says, hey, there's some cards. Buy the cards for a few $100. Did really well. It was a bunch of vintage stuff. That's a different video. But they had 4 or 5 storage buildings. Areas they had to go through still left. And they said if they found any more cards, they'd give me a call. Fast forward to January and got a call. They had more cards and went out, and the cards were in bad shape. Ended up buying some Atari games for, no matter what, I spent $300, and there was a small metal cabinet, and in the cabinet were about 250 to 300 concert tickets. I had no idea. I don't know anything about concert tickets, other than it's cool, and I don't know anybody that's not a music fan. So I ended up going through the 200 or 300 concert tickets and started doing some research, and these right here, guys, were cream of the crop. They're pretty cool. So sent these 5 off because from the research I could do online on eBay, these were valuable pieces. So have those 4. Of course, one did not grade, and there it is. It says return, no grade, no charge, N9. So PSA pretty much told me that since this concert had been canceled, that they could not slab it. And it is a Bob Marley and the Wailers ticket stub from the Greek. It's University of California from Friday, July 29th, 1977. Infamously, Bob Marley got hurt in Europe playing, I believe, soccer. Hurt his toe or something, and ended up canceling a few tours in America in 1977. Come to find out, they did blood work and stuff, and they found cancer. So this stub was not used, which I knew that when I sent it in, but I thought that they would still slab it. But this is still a really cool historic piece. Bob Marley ticket stubs are pretty valuable, so if you can get them. All right, so the first one, if I can, here, hold on, let's see if I can, there we go. So the first one, there it is, 1969, Janis Joplin, Madison Square Garden, December 19th, 1969, New York. So that's got a 3 on that. Of course, Janis Joplin passed away about a year after this. She was 26 years old. So these are highly desirable. She didn't get really going in her career, so I saw these go from anywhere from $400 to $600 is what I believe. So really cool piece. Let's see. We'll go with this one right here next. And do that one last. That one's a really cool one. All right, so this next band is the same as Joplin, 1970, The Doors. It's Jim Morrison, and this is Roadhouse Blues Tour. This is actually also at the Madison Square Garden Felt Forum. It was Madison Square Garden concert venue now or whatever, but this one gets a fair 1.5. This is cool because you see the time. That's the Sunday at 10 p.m. show. That show went to 2 o'clock in the morning. They had other bands helping them there. So the 10 o'clock last show of the Madison Square Garden was the biggest show and the most famous. They did a live recording of this that went into 45s and all that. So, very famous show from the Doors. Like I said, Jim Morrison stopped performing with them later in the year, around the summer, and then he passed away in 1971 in Paris, France. So, like Janis Joplin, he did not, he was not part of the music scene very long. So, the next two, really cool. This was this next concert at the Warehouse in New Orleans. It was like a 3,000 seat capacity, small venue. 1978, Bob Marley and the Wailers, after he was diagnosed with cancer, came back, did some more tours. This is from the Kaya tour, July 30th, 1978, and it was, like I said, the Warehouse at New Orleans, Louisiana. Cool piece. You don't see a lot of Bob Marley stubs. This one's a 3. And the stubs you see are not very high grade, and there's probably only 25 or 30 out there. And I understand all the ticket stubs I get, I throw away immediately. So I can see why people don't have them or don't keep them. So this guy did. He was a big concert guy. Him and his sister supposedly went to hundreds of concerts, and it shows to his collection. He was big into music. He had 2 or 3 drum sets, multiple amps, old concert rock band photos, real photos. Guy was a super sick, big time music collector. So his last one, it was the second ticket, maybe his sister's ticket, and this one got a excellent mint 6. I think either the first or the highest graded ticket stub, or I think there may have been a 7, but one of the highest graded ticket stub examples from Bob Marley and the Wailers, and it's the same show from the Warehouse in New Orleans. Super happy with this one, man. This is a sick piece of rock and roll history and reggae history. So me and my family got to go to Jamaica a couple years ago. We stayed in Montego Bay. We went to Ocho Rios. We didn't get over to Kingston, but we went to Ocho Rios, Dun River Falls, got down to Rick's Cafe on the southern tip of Jamaica. But Montego Bay was really beautiful. His museum, we didn't get to it, but it's located around Montego Bay. But this is a very big piece of reggae history. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, to be honest with you. I haven't thought if I'm going to resubmit this one maybe. But we'll see. But that's it for now, and I will eventually share the rest of my ticket stubs because I've started picking up some other sports-related events. So I'll show that my ticket stub PC and sooner or later, but wanted to get this out of the way, open this up, and go ahead and show you the guys. This is, I would think probably a couple $1,000s worth of ticket stubs. They're not for sale. If I do, they're going to be out at astronomical prices because I don't want to sell them, and I've only got a few $100s invested in these. In the whole collection, really, everything I bought that day was $300. So I didn't know what was in here. I thought about going back to the owner and throwing him a couple $100 more bucks. So really cool pieces. Going to be in my collection for a while because, like I said, I just don't have a ton of money in them. And I've heard of all these people, but like I said, just doing some research. These are very high collectible pieces of history. So, all right, guys, until next time.